first and foremost, a lot of you have an opinion. Today, President Biden, he announced he's forgiving a lot of student loan debt, fulfilling a major campaign promise. Now, the plan will forgive up to $10,000 in loans for people who make $125,000 a year or less. He's also extending the pause on student loan payments until January. It's not clear where the money is coming from. However, the whole thing could cost up to $300 billion, or about, if you want to separate it, $2 grand per taxpayer. Now, more than 43 million people have federal student loan debt, and this will zero that out for almost 20 million people, or cut that debt in half for millions more. But many are saying this isn't fair to the folks who already paid their student loans, or to those students who paid for college without loans. So what do y'all think of this plan? First of all, I just want a show of hands in the room. I mean, I don't think we have a camera on them, but how many people are dealing with student loan debt, like, as you speak, in our room?
I still have student loan debt.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like a quarter, or 8, 9, half of the room right now, and we're all a little bit older, you know, not everybody in the room, but still at 45 years old, you're dealing with student loan debt. What do you think about this?
I mean, you know, I think it's a good thing overall. They say, like, rising tide lifts all boats. When you free the generation underneath you to, you know, be absolved of their debt to some extent, that allows them to now move into your neighborhood, invest in a house, invest in the school district. I don't think this is like, these aren't people that are like going to take this money now, I'm going to go to Vegas. I think this is now I can apply for loans and move forward in my life, get a mortgage, and start to have that American dream that people have been told that they can have. And college has changed in terms of what it costs, even when I went. Yeah. Mine is mostly for grad school. College is really
Tori,
changed.
what would you say to this? Because we have a lot of comments. One of our viewers says, absolutely not acceptable. Totally a political voting scheme, extremely unfair to those who could not afford college. Taxpayers cannot afford these forgiveness plans.
Okay, well, first off, we don't know it's coming from taxpayers. It could come from a warplane. If it's $300 million, they could sell a warplane, and then guess how much money comes back after these people move into your neighborhoods? It comes back into the economy. That's the point of lifting them up. I just want to say loud and clear that college student debt is unfair. It is predatory lending, and so what he's doing is trying to level the playing field. If you have a Pell Grant, you'll get forgiveness up to 20 grand. So that's the lowest income amount. Now, also, in 1980, the cost to go to college was 10 grand annually. In 2020, 30 grand. That's a 180% increase in about 40 years. That's unsustainable. It's unsustainable for people. So all he's doing is fulfilling a promise and keeping it even for people. I think it's fabulous.
First of all, shout out to Rob and our crew. Popped the lights on, got around there. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. Yeah, but if you look, to get back what you say, if you look at the curve from like 1980 till now, it just goes straight up for inflation. It's like a straight line. So that's gone up, but the people who teach education, theirs hasn't gone up, right? So on the outside, like everyone else, I think this is a great idea, right? Student debt is crazy. Who's getting all that money? But then when I sit back and think, you don't cancel debt, you transfer it. And who do you transfer it to? Us. I know you think it's not going to be the taxpayers, but it is. Biden's handing out money like it's going out of style. $4 trillion he gave away during COVID. Now he's giving people a $10,000 tax credit. You know what the mafia used to do?
It's not a tax credit.
Or $10.
Forgiveness.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. The mafia used to hand out turkeys during Thanksgiving in their neighborhood, and everyone's like, the mafia is the best, right? I love the mafia. I'm going to vote for the mafia like I'm going to buy your vote. Guess what they're doing to all the businesses? They're taxing them in their own way behind. You're going to pay me or something's going to happen to you. But if you put on this festival, this show, like Biden's doing, with the free turkeys, everyone thinks you're a good guy. So am I getting bamboozled, or is this really a good thing?
That's a fair question, but I will say a budget's a budget, and you can reformulate, reconfigure, restructure a budget any which way you want. So to Tori's point, you can say we're not going to put this much into warplanes, and we're going to go ahead and put this over here to have people have a higher living wage, or we're going to do this to cancel student debt. So there is a way to just reconfigure those puzzle pieces to make everybody happier. Whether or not that's the right decision, I do not know. I'm not an economist. You may think I am. I am not.
I was picking up that you weren't, but I appreciate you clarifying. Honestly, it's so interesting how we look at when something is done for the people, like we the people, like I have nephews and nieces that will directly benefit, and grown folks that will directly benefit.
Kids.
My children hopefully will not have to make the decision to go or not because of this. But like I remember back to the Trump presidency when he passed that corporate tax cut, which was the most unfavorable thing he ever did with his base. Like that was but it was for corporations, and people didn't realize like how much money huge corporations got back because, like I always say, we don't understand anything. We don't understand how our tax code works.
And they do it on purpose.
I don't understand how the corporate tax code works. So when I start saying that, your eyes are going to glaze over, so no one understands. But we understand student debt. That's something we can understand and get upset about. So if we're going to get upset about student debt, we should be also learning up about what's going on in the corporate world, because those are the people that have benefited the most in the last 10 years. That tax cut was insane.
You paid for your student loan, right?
I'm currently paying.
You're currently paying.
Still.
Do you mind having your taxes raised to pay for someone so they get a cut in their tax or in their student loan?
Honestly,
if that's what happens, would that bother you?
I swear, it's like, I know people are like, well, you're in a financial position. Like, I have 3 kids. Like, I'm out here hustling like everybody else. If we don't do something, the next generation they're done.
I agree. It's ridiculous. I agree.
It's so much.
Predatory.
Yeah, I do agree.
There's a point where it's like this jacket's expensive, or it's $38,000 where there's no thought of even paying it off, and that's where our kids are. And I don't think it's a fair way to start your life.
The interest rates need to be gone. Right. It took me 20 years to pay off my student loans because I was just paying the interest rate. So I think this is a good start, but I don't think this is the end-all be-all.
No, but I'm glad he's keeping a promise, because people were like, yo, what's up? You kept this on your campaign.
He said cancel all student loan debt.
It's not allowed.
I agree with you. He's kind of lived up to his promise.
I agree with you on that.